Hello, everybody. Welcome at the Pan-European Conference on Digital Education. My name is Blanca Tatzer. Today, I will be the moderator of the 48th session. I am greeting you from rainy Slovenia today. Please tell me where are you from? And how is the weather in your country currently? Does it also rain, or if there is a sun? Let us know in the comments. So today we have 4 presentations and we will see the program like just in a second. The first presentation is actually a presentation of an interesting K2 project from Erasmus. Dajana Jelavić will present us a topic developing students' autonomy through ePortfolio. Then we have a presenter, Farhad Hama, who will present us a topic engaging learners' innovations in digital education. Gulziya will follow with the topic enhancing English learning motivation among engineering students through digital technology. And the last presentation will be by Marija Todoroska on mastering teaching process with Curipod. So welcome everybody, and you can get all the slides in the Facebook group Pan-European Conference on Digital Education. So the slides are already there, so you can download them and follow the presentations easier. Let me invite you to another event that we are promoting just now. On 9th of April, we are having a webinar specially focused on kindergarten and preschool teachers. It's about teaching sustainability in kindergartens. And not only a webinar, we are also organizing the next Pan-European Conference, which will be on the 25th of April. Which will also be devoted to teaching sustainability in kindergartens. We prepared a special call for presenters, which is available on the website erasmus+courses.com. The call is for oral presentations and for poster presentations. And the best presentations will be selected to be published in the handbook on teaching sustainability in kindergartens. So yeah, just send us your contributions and yeah, we will see. So now thank you for the moment, and we will meet our presenters today. I call now firstly Dajana. So Dajana, welcome again. I'm sure that many participants remember you already because it's your 3rd time here, right?
Yes, I suppose it is.
Yes. So, but yeah, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, thank you, Blanca. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dajana Jelavić, and I'm an English teacher at Jure Kaštelan High School in Omiš, Croatia. I've been teaching for more than 3 decades and mostly in vocational programs. I also serve as an Erasmus and eTwinning coordinator at my school. And today I'm going to speak about student autonomy, why it is important and how to develop it.
Yeah, thank you very much. And the next presenter is Farhad is not here, but he was, so maybe just the connection got lost. Then Gulziya, hello, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, so it's first time to be as a presenter here. I'm very happy that you managed to attend. Just please let us know about yourself.
So, hello, everyone, and warm greetings from Kazakhstan, from Kostanay city. My name is Gulziya Yeskatova, and I am a senior lecturer of Kostanay Engineering-Economic University, named after Mirjak Dulatov. And first of all, I'd like to send warm greetings from our president, Mr. Yunusov, our university director, Mr. Ismailov, all the teaching staff and students. Frankly speaking, it's a great honor for me to participate in such a great forum and to share some ideas about teaching students majoring in engineering, and we have some experience. Now, I'd like to say just a few words about myself. So, I've been working at the Kostanay Engineering University for 4 years, but previously I worked at Kostanay Police Academy. I was a law enforcement officer because my students were future police officers. But then I retired. I am a retired police colonel, and after being retired, I joined Kostanay Engineering-Economic University, and for 4 years I've been working there. And I find that it's very interesting and it's very amazing to deal with students majoring in engineering. Frankly speaking, it's a kind of new area for me as well, because previously I dealt with mostly with English for law enforcement. And nowadays, the most interesting thing for me is English for specific purpose for engineering students. And today I'll share some info about it. So thank you.
Yeah. Many teachers in our public also teach us in the same topic. So we are very interested in your insights and your ideas. Thank you very much for this, and congratulations to all your success. Marija, Todoroska, welcome. Also, it's your second or third time here, right? So welcome again. And for the beginning, just tell us a little bit about yourself, and later we will listen to your topic. The microphone is not working. So yeah, just to have a couple of seconds to see the microphone. And I would like to inform you, our dear participants, that the link for the certificate of attendance is available in the video description down below. So either are you on YouTube or Facebook, the link is available in the video description. Later, I will also put the link in the comment, but in the comments, you know that they are changing and sometimes they are not really stable. That's why it's more reliable if you go under the video description. Okay, Marija just went to change her device. So we will wait for her. And I would also like to tell you that that you always have availability to ask questions to our presenters, and you ask a question in a way that you just type the question in the chat and later we will ask them. So I believe now is the time to check Marija again. So if the microphone is working, still not. Okay, so just check your device and we will see later. But in the meanwhile, I will give my word to Dajana as a first presenter. So her topic is ePortfolio. Welcome again, Dajana. Yes, you are here. So the floor is yours. present us the topic Developing Students Autonomy through ePortfolio, which is one of her Erasmus projects. So Dajana is very active under Erasmus program and also about it winning.
Thank you, Blanca. Can you see my presentation?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, we see the presentation, we see you, and the sound is perfect. So yeah, we are curious.
I'm trying to move my slides.
Are they not working?
This is still the first slide.
Yeah, we can see the first slide exactly. Yeah.
And now?
No, now yes, now we see the second slide, I believe.
Okay, thank you,
about
Blanca.
outline.
Okay, here is a brief outline of today's session. I will introduce our KA 220 Erasmus Plus project and its activities, give reasons for using digital portfolio, and show you our project results. So the full title of the project is Development Through Autonomy, Self-Responsibility and Self-Care, ePortfolios as a lifelong learning approach from secondary school to university. It is a cooperation, a partnership in school education, more precisely the partnership between 3 secondary schools and 2 universities, that started on the 1st January in 2022 and will finish on the 1st July 2024, what means 30 months or 2 years and a half. Here is, in short, what we did during that time. There were many online meetings, long talks, planning and discussions, and 3 on-site meetings. First year, it was a Mahara training in Frankfurt, Germany. Second year, it was a digital tools training in Omiš, Croatia. And the third year and the final one in Žilina, Slovakia this February. As this saying reads, how you climb a mountain is more important than reaching the top. We are here to show that the journey of learning matters more than just the grades. By using ePortfolios, we are empowering students to take charge of their learning, responsibility, and well-being. It's all about nurturing a mindset of lifelong learning, which is crucial for students' overall growth. That is the goal of our Erasmus project. Although there are different digital tools available for portfolio creation like CISO, Padlet, Google Slides and Sites, LiveBinder, Bulb, Wakelet, Weebly, we were recommended by our experienced German partner to use Moodle and Mahara. Moodle is a learning platform or course management system, a free open source software package designed to help educators create effective online courses. Mahara enables flexible sharing of portfolios with individuals, specific groups, or the global community, serving as our platform for creating digital collections. One of the primary responsibilities of schools and universities is to equip students with knowledge and skills that they can use in their future life. Now they are preparing students for today, not reflecting the needs of the future. It is important to meet the needs of students who become much more active and reflective learners from the early years of K-12 education and keep up with changes in the business world. It is more important than ever to develop the key competencies and basic skills of learners and showcase them to audiences inside and outside of schools and universities. As the European Commission stated, key competencies and basic skills are needed by all for personal fulfillment and development, employability, social inclusion, and active citizenship. Once students have started to gain these competencies and skills, they want them to be recognized by the teachers, peers, parents, and potential employers. An ePortfolio is an excellent tool as it provides students with a platform for self-reflection and recognition. It enables the introduction of innovative ways of demonstrating learners' achievements through video files, podcasts, and other multimedia content. Students can showcase their learning and development starting from an early age. Introducing ePortfolio widely to different educational institutions enhances the possibility of reduced early school leaving because of a constant sense of achievement. It enhances continuity of learning as well as facilitating progression between institutions. ePortfolio-based learning results in deeper learning because it boosts students' learning with less instruction by keeping students responsible for their learning. It also helps students acquire digital skills and improve them throughout the life. The development of reflection as a part of complex metacognitive awareness has an irreplaceable position in education. It allows the space to reconsider prior beliefs that are deeply embedded and sometimes even difficult to express. Learning from one's own experience is a profound and focused discovery process that needs to be guided. Self-reflection and self-evaluation belong among the key components of personal and professional development. The significant part of this process is the analysis, evaluation of the process, drawing the results followed by the conclusions, and setting the aims for further development. The process itself leads towards self-development. A technology-supported environment in the educational context has been identified as a valuable workspace with the potential to deepen the learning experience. The move to the online education due to COVID-19 also makes it evident that it is essential to improve students' digital skills and deploy more student-centered methods to help students learn independently at their own pace and in their own time. I've been talking about ePortfolio-based learning benefits, and obviously they are numerous. On this slide, I would highlight its importance for the National School Leaving Exam. ePortfolio is a comprehensive record of students' learning experiences to refer back to when preparing for exams. Overall, it empowers students to take ownership of their learning, track their progress, and present their achievements in a meaningful and compelling way. Here I underlined constant sense of achievement as I consider it a real trigger for learning that enables autonomy and persistence of learning process. And a few words about assessment. Informal ongoing self-assessment in an ePortfolio involves students' regular reflection on their own learning, progress, and achievements. It's a continuous and personalized process where students can track their development, set goals, and celebrate successes. Students should be encouraged to regularly write reflective entries discussing their experiences, challenges, and insights related to their work or project. They should be prompted to explore what they have learned, what skills they have developed, and how they overcame obstacles. Students can set short-term and long-term goals for their learning journey. These goals can be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. They should be also revisited periodically and updated based on students' evolving skills and aspirations. Another idea could be inclusion of the section where students highlight specific examples of their work that demonstrate growth and improvement over time. They can also annotate or comment on specific details within their work to showcase the development of their skills or understanding, and if possible, provided by opportunities for peers, teachers, or mentors to offer feedback on specific pieces of work within the ePortfolio. Combination of all these strategies enhances development of an autonomous and self-regulated learner. Further, students can assess their own skills, both at the beginning and at various points throughout their learning journey. This could involve self-rating on specific competencies, along with reflections on how they have worked or enhanced these skills. The key is to make self-assessment a regular and integrated part of the learning process, fostering a sense of ownership and reflection in students as they curate their ePortfolios. And last but not least, the results of our project. There are 2 courses in Moodle on methodological aspects of online teaching, and the one I would highly recommend about development of students' autonomy through ePortfolio, created by our universities from Slovakia and from Gießen, Germany. And this collection of digital tools that has been created by teachers for teachers, what will increase the sustainability of the project's results and impacts. Teachers from 3 high schools in Germany, Slovakia, and Croatia have chosen the most helpful and reliable digital tools they currently work with. There is a simple description of the tool, basic data, payment information, and some teachers' tips and tricks on each page. We added some practical examples of use and ideas how to work with the tools. With each page, you can also find a screencast of the tool, so you are going to get a basic idea of what it looks like and the basic functions. You can easily navigate yourself through the tools, and if you have more questions, you can contact the teachers directly. The link is here in the presentation if you are interested in browsing our digital collection. I hope you are reassured that ePortfolios fosters students' autonomy and serve as invaluable companion in their learning journey. Thank you for your time and attention. Here is a short evaluation form. If you feel like filling it, I would be very satisfied. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Diana. I will leave this link just for a few seconds on, so that those who are here with their mobile phones can scan the code or either type in the link. Thank you for your presentation. We have several questions, but limited time. So I will choose one question. So Claudia is interested in, according to your experience, but I know that you already said something about this, but nevertheless, so are the portfolios useful for developing thinking and researching skills?
Yes,
What is
indeed.
your experience? Yeah.
It is very useful for researchers because you can assign a task to your students, and they have their portfolios, and they can work and do the research in times convenient to them. And you can check on their work whenever you want, and give them a feedback, a kind of formative assessment, and give them directions how to continue with their work, or what they should change or do differently, and things like that. And I think it's very useful for that kind of tasks.
How about for thinking skills? What's your experience? So, because portfolios can be different qualities. Some students can maybe just, I don't know, copy paste something into it. Or do you have any magic tricks on developing their thinking skills using portfolios?
There is no magic trick. Teachers are there to check their work, and to check if it is copy pasted or is it written in their own words, and to make to make them to improve their work and do by themselves.
Okay, thank you very much, Diana, for this presentation. Her presentation is available on Facebook group Pan-European Conference on Digital Education. So we call now next presenter, Farhad. Are you with us? Farhad? Yes, okay, here you are. Welcome again. Before we lost your connection, so we didn't hear about you. So I suggest that you present yourself a little bit and then start with the presentation immediately. We don't hear. The microphone is not working. So maybe just check, if the microphone is on, and then we can continue with our conference. So dear participants.
Is it okay?
Yes,
That's
it's
fine.
okay now. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much.
And then you can start with the presentation.
Thank you so much. I am Farhad Hama. I am originally from Kurdistan in Iraq. I am a PhD student at Mickiewicz University, first year student. I've been teaching English for about 14 years. I have a master's in applied linguistics and TESOL, and I've been teaching at the university and the school levels, and I've been doing research in various areas, especially motivation and teacher education. And the focus of my PhD dissertation is on teacher education, pre-service teacher education.
Pre-service, for students, Okay, great.
Yeah.
So now you can just share your presentation and present us your topic. So Farhad's topic is engaging learners, innovations in digital education.
Yeah, right. Just a second. I think it takes time. Yes.
It's here.
It is.
So we see.
Yes, I have chosen this topic because it is interesting. As we know, when we want to engage learners, we have to consider innovations in digital education, and we have different platforms. And this topic is important. And when we talk about, let me say, engagement, I have two definitions here. The first one, we can say engagement students in digital education requires active participation. If you want to activate our learners, if you want our learners to be active in terms of participation and interaction, we have to have a kind of involvement for different types of technology, especially in digital and the new types of, let me say, innovations in education. And we have, as we know, we have materials across different domains, which promotes cognitive, behavioral, and emotional and social developments. As the more we use digital tools, the more they will be developed in terms of learning. And this level of engagement can be accomplished through online discussions. We have different forms, we have different strategies in order to develop this aspect. We can have collaborative projects, we can have multimedia content and virtual classrooms. And it is of utmost importance for enhancing learning outcomes and fostering meaningful interactions in online learning environments. And we have the opposite based on the research. Some researchers define it as engaging students, or student engagement is also essential for successful, let me say, online learning. And it involves active participation, as I said before, across emotions, behaviors, and cognitive and cognition. Malan found, let me say, research integrating social, cognitive, and behavioral, collaborative, and emotional engagement increased module completion rates. It means the more they try, the more they will be engaged in terms of modules, lessons, and activities. And based on the engagement, based on different studies, we have different kinds of engagement. We have cognitive, which is important. The more the students use different types of technology based on the nature of the subject, they will be developed in terms of thinking, critical thinking, and thinking skills. And then we have, let me say, behavioral engagement. And the more they use, let me say, different types of technology for learning, and then they will have a kind of positive attitude towards various kinds of technology, and they will be more integrated as much as they can. And then finally, they will have a positive instead of a negative attitude. And then technology is also playing an important role in supporting student engagement by providing ample opportunities for reflective activities when implemented effectively. The more they use it, the more they have more reflective activities inside the classroom with the other learners. In terms at the social level, we can say we have social engagement. As we know, we have different websites, we have different online platforms that have become integral to students' daily life and even educational activities. It means they are working collaboratively, they are working integrately. Next, we have different types of digital innovations in education. The first one we can say is adaptive learning technology, which is more personalized. It depends on the nature of the person, to what extent he or she wants to develop her own style with technology. For example, we have Udemy, we have Coursera, we have LinkedIn, we have Rosa Stone, and we have different platforms. And the second one is open OER, open educational resources, which encompasses course content, materials, or different activities, which can be accessed freely and accessible for both teachers, instructors. And this also includes resources such as open textbooks and lecture slides, podcasters. And some universities, some educational institutions, they have, let me say, more accessible lectures, online platforms for those who want to use them as much as they can. And gamification is also important, especially for primary, especially for younger learners, and incorporates gaming elements into learning activities. The more we integrate gamification, the more they will be interested, especially for younger learners at primary or secondary level. And even for assessment or courses, such as a kind of point-based system or badges as an incentive for learners to be more engaged into different activities, they will be more active instead of being passive. And game-based learning uses games to facilitate learning and often enhancing cognitive knowledge skills through simulation activities. And another one is MOOCs are online courses open to unlimited participants. I mean, many learners around the world, they can use this massive open resources, which are offering educational materials like lectures, assignments via the internet. It is somehow similar to open educational resources. And another one is learning management system, which is very dominant since the time, let me say, technology has been rooted, has been developed. And their interoperability are trending in digital learning innovation. Despite their development starting in the 1990s, LMS remains relevant today and is still discussed in popular media, such as, for example, EduCause emphasizes the importance of LMS, vendor relations, as well as the need for IT professionals to have deeper understanding of this one. There are more investigations. As we know, we have mobile devices, including smartphones and tablets. They have evolved significantly and transitioned from, let me say, one type to another type, from one version to another version. This will also affect the educational platform. They're wide separate and diversities, let me say, fast data speeds and vast array of applications have made them inseparable, we can say, indispensable, tools for students and shaping their own experiences, their own expectations for seamless interactivity in digital learning. And another one, we have it, let me say, in terms of design, we can also engage students into different activities through digital innovation. In education involves structuring the learning environment and interactions to facilitate effective learning. This is more useful for, let me say, students in the science departments, we can say. It includes aligning learning objectives, assessments and activities, organizing course materials, and providing learner support for clarity and ease of learning. As we know, we have blended learning, which integrates face-to-face and online learning, and it is also dominant at the university and school levels nowadays to cater the students' needs and replacing or supplementing seat time with online activities such as peer learning, seminars, webinars, as we have it now. And we have dashboards, aggregate data from storage systems and present it to users through a combination of quantitative expressions and visualizations, enhancing data comprehension, attendance figures, test scores, and enrollment, we can say, details. And another one, which is somehow new, which is virtual reality, creates alternate, we can say, realities using digital data, access through devices like Oculus, and artificial intelligence performs cognitive tasks seen in tools like ALCAS and tutoring system. While AI addresses teaching challenges, VR, let me say, offers impressive experiences. There's a kind of clash between AI and VR, we can say. However, widespread adoption is hindered by technological barriers. Current initiatives are vendor-driven rather than institutional. And we have two approaches. If you want to engage our learners, we can employ two approaches. The first one is synchronous activities, which involve instructors being present to be more engaging. And the second one is asynchronous activities, like instructors responding to student comments on discussion boards were also seen as engaging, let me say, passively instead of actively. However, activities like watching pre-recorded videos or summarizing peer comments where there is no live interaction were found to be less engaging. It means the more the teacher will be attended in the classroom with the student, if it is online, the more engagement will appear. And what are the advantages, let me say, of digital learning in education? Why do we need to have it in our classroom? Learning, it is important for learning itself, and it is important for personal development, as I indicated before, for cognitive, for behavior, for social. And it is also improving academic performance among us learning. Wherever we teach, we can have digital tools as much as we can. However, we have challenges and barriers, and it is meeting the needs of digital natives and enhancing student engagement. The more we use, the more the students will be engaged, because it will be more visual, it will be more interesting. However, it depends on the context we are teaching, we are working. And it is also the importance of proper planning and pedagogy. And Teachers should be careful when they design a lesson, when they integrate technology. They have to have a mindset for planning and pedagogy. To what extent, in which way, which strategy are they going to employ to implement this kind of technology in the classroom? And it is also incomparable efficiency compared to traditional methods. If you compare, let me say, digital tools, a lesson which has a kind of digital tool with a lesson which doesn't, or which is more traditional, it can be compared, because here is more interactive, but there is not more interactive. Utilizing smartphones and, let me say, wireless devices in classroom, and it is important nowadays and makes learning more appealing to the next generation. And resistance from traditional instructors, I mean, sometimes it is critical. Sometimes there might be challenges for instructors, traditional ones. They cannot be adopted. They have not learned a lot about using technology, especially for different majors in some countries. But they have to adapt themselves. They have to be familiar with the new types of technology in order to have more interactive classrooms. An online classroom calendar for scheduling, it is also useful for scheduling the lessons, we can say, for any activities, and even for the student response systems for a kind of quick assessment. And it is also helpful in planning and assessment with your students, I mean with the teachers, and let me say whatever they have it during the course. And why do we need to have needs for digital tools, let me say digital learning tools in education? As we know, because of globalization of education, it requires application of digital tools. As we know, everyone, let me say, can access the internet, or learners are, they are able to access the internet and they can use it. That's why it is a kind of a global phenomena. And then, as we know, during the period of COVID-19, the pandemic, there was a big force of adopting online and digital tools, which highlights need for international integration, and then preparation for future skills. If you want to have learners who have, let me say, future skills, we have to develop, let me say, problem solving and critical thinking. At the same time, we have to integrate digital tools in our classes and prepares for technology driven future. And enhancing classroom atmosphere, it is important, improves teaching and learning processes, and provides also flexibility in learning, customization, and engaging and involvement. At the same time, technology usage increases engagement and enhances learning experiences. And active student participation, the more we use it, the more they will be interested, the more they will be engaged in the lesson, the more they will participate. Instructor acts as guide to enhance, we can say, efficiency. And then utilization of digital tools, resources enables content generation and collaboration. If I want to integrate different types of technology, then I have to have a kind of update for the content I'm teaching, for the content, for example, you are teaching. And it also facilitates co-learning and knowledge sharing between the students, between teachers, the student and teachers as well. Innovative teaching approaches, we can say, they will be more updated and they will be more observable. Integration of gamification, for example, and flipped classrooms, and utilizes technology for inspiring, we can say, instruction. As we know, we have features of digital classroom. The main features are they are collaborative, and we can say they are sometimes affordable. We can have, for example, a smartphone, we can have a tablet in the classroom, we can have, let me say, different types based on the needs and logistics, and it is also easy for teaching processes. They can be accessible. They can be used easily. However, again, I'm saying it depends on the context, on the country, because some countries, they may not have logistics for classrooms. And upgrade learning, it is a kind of new update for the learning platform, and it gives innovative content, and it is more interactive, and it is more accessible, the content, and we can have a kind of flexible learning when we use digital tools. And we have applications. As much as we use, let me say, applications of digital technologies in education, we can improve our teaching productivity. We have more products, and then the teaching platform will be more productive. And then we can also develop, let me say, online libraries instead of having books on shelves. And we can also promote, let me say, distance learning and facilitate teaching of students and create virtual classrooms for the students and build knowledge and understanding and creating inclusive learning environment. And at the same time, you can also develop teamwork and communication skills and solving educational challenges, enhanced access to educational resources. They can be more accessible and addressing students to completing different tasks on their own time and transform innovative way of learning. And we can see convenient teaching and learning, which is reduce the requirement for a blackboard. For example, no need to have a blackboard. Now we have a smart board. And then making classroom instructions through using applications and digital tools, and build curriculum and support and improve students' performance at the same time. And it will be more flexible in terms of education at different levels, and students gain self-learning ability, and they can also expand their own knowledge. And what are the common strategies to engage learners, let me say, virtually? As I discussed, we have two ways. Synchronous strategies, for example, we can have a spider web discussion. In this way, teachers can conduct discussions over Google Meet, and pre-class questions prompted, we can say, independent responses. Teachers visually track conversation flows with a drone spider web and encourage reflections on participation dynamics. That's a good example. And then we can have chat for understanding. Teachers can use Google Chat for questions with established chat rooms and different things. And then we can have flipped classroom. Teachers can combine asynchronous recorded videos with live sessions for student discussion and problem solving, and target clarification of concepts in response to student needs can be replied. And adapted think, pair, share. What does it mean? It means teachers employ project-based learning for richer discussion. They think more, and adapt think, pair, share to Zoom breakout rooms where students discuss and recorded answers on shared Google documents. Teachers can divide different topics into different rooms, different groups, and then they can think about, then they can have their own reflections and discussions. Another point is about, let me say, let me say, all answers. We have it here. The second, let me see, the second approaches is, we can say, is asynchronous strategies. We can say online forms. Teachers use Google Classroom for back and forth dialogue and respond with clarifying questions to students' comments and require pair up, let me say, responses to foster broader discussion. And virtual gallery walks, students present projects via screencasters and provide feedback through Google Sheets, encourage reflection and peer learning through virtual gallery walks, station brainstorming online. Teachers can translate carsal brainstorming to virtual setting, utilizing shared, let me say, Google Docs or slides for prompt responses, and maintain classroom community virtually through online collaboration. And what are the main challenges if we want to employ digital tools or digital innovations when we want to engage our learners? Implementation and usage hurdles. Sometimes it is difficult for a teacher in a context to implement due to some factors, let me say, in the classroom, from the student side, from the school side, from the logistics. And there are concerns about excessive screen time. Sometimes it is boring or it is not good for a student to be on the screen for a long period of time. and in terms of health, in terms of costs, in terms of, let me say, emotional skills based on different study and efficacy of instructors' technology use. We have teachers from different settings, from different countries. They may not be able to integrate digital innovations into education, and they are not familiar. They need to be trained in this aspect. And fairness in technology access. And sometimes, the internet is not available in one country, is not is unavailable in one classroom, and it cannot be accessed by learners or by teachers. It is different in another classroom. And COVID-19 exacerbates, we can say, content significance. As we know, some countries had problems during COVID-19, some they didn't have it, and they could use it. And online learning difficulties for some students. It is difficult for some students, and they will be mentally tired, and they are not familiar, and they are not interested. Not for all the students, but for some students. Here we have to have a kind of raising awareness of using more innovations and, let me say, instructions so as to engage those kinds of students, and teacher inexperienced with digital tools. That is similar to the third point. They are not experienced. They cannot use it. Access barriers for low-income students. For example, one student may not be able to have internet at home, and challenges in practical subjects online. They may not be able to, let me say, to implement, to conduct practical subjects online, and they may not have that kind of ability. They have to be trained more and more. And potential for technology enabling, let me say, cheating. Sometimes, cheating may happen in the online platform. These are the main, let me say, challenges for using digital innovations in technology, in education. Thanks for your attention. Any questions? That is an overview, actually.
Thank you very much, Farhad, for your overview and many interesting ideas in your presentations. I'm wondering, I see your presentation very much connected with Dajana's presentation, because she emphasized self-autonomy. And I don't know, I think that self-autonomy is very important when we speak about digital education. So I'm interested in your experience. So do you think that when we use digital different technologies and digital platforms, that maybe we create even more differences among students? Because the self-autonomy, some students have a big self-autonomy, some most of them are average, and some of them they have difficulties. So I don't know, in learning achievements, do we create even bigger differences when we use digital technology or not? Or maybe that's not an issue.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yes, we can have a kind of, let me say, if you have two groups of students, let me say, having technologies, or when they do self-study. For another group, for example, they don't have technology. But if you instruct, I think, if we instruct as instructors, our learners, if you give them advice, let me say, if they know how they use digital tools correctly in a good way, I think the using technology in the A platform, will be more productive than not using technology. But as I said, it depends, because sometimes, we have learners, they have the internet and they can access digital tools, but they may not be able to use them properly for learning. That's why they cannot develop their own self-study platform. They cannot learn much about language, but about science, different majors. And based on the studies I have already read, I understood that, using technology based on instructions, let me say, or guidance, will be more useful. for learners. But sometimes some learners, they just use them randomly. But we have examples from different countries. For example, we can see some students, they have been using, they have only depended on some websites for learning English, and they like native speakers. They can use English as native speakers. That's why, I think, integrating technology or using technology with learners, with the guidance and instructions, will be more, let me say, useful, and we can see more achievements from them.
Thank you. Yeah, which leads us again that actually the professional development of teachers in the field of digital education is very important. That's why we have this conference, so that we upgrade our knowledge and instruction strategies each day. Thank you very much, Farhad. We move on now to Gulziya. Welcome. Gulziya Yeskatova will present us a topic on teaching English to engineers. Welcome once again. So we have your slides. They are here. And your title is Enhancing English Learning Motivation Among Engineering Students Through Digital Technology.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. And it's pretty good and nice that I am here and can share my own experience of enhancing English learning motivation among engineering students through digital technology. So generally, our university, Dulatov University, is one of many universities in Kazakhstan that trains specialists majoring in mechanical engineering, robotics, automation, and control engineering, computer science. And of course, it's very, very important to use and to integrate digital technology in very many disciplines, and even in teaching process, for example, such disciplines as English. So, and in order to come with the very topic, I just like to start with answering the very question, what is motivation? And for that, I just taken that funny images to illustrate. For example, if the question is how to motivate the very mouth to go through the challenge and to go through that labyrinth and just reach the goal, the problem is how to make it. And then maybe the answer is that piece of cheese. And then in order to see what is that piece of cheese that can motivate engineering students to learn English, to pay more time and maybe to be more motivated to learn in English, especially some specific terminology, well, we have made a kind of survey. And actually, the very survey was focused not only on that very question, but that research was aimed at seeing what is the kind of readiness of our students to intercultural communication. And one of the questions was about what can be English learning motivation for engineering students. And here are shown some answers of our students. Generally, there were about 90 students who took part in that survey, and the answers of them were the following. So 10% of students, they noted that they want to learn English for getting knowledge, for passing internationally recognized exams like IELTS, TOEFL, SAT. About 23% of students, they have mentioned that they want to learn English because they can get ability to learn more about technologies in the field of IT, computer science, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, IoT of things, IoT of robotic things. Well, for 12% of students, the question was to get more opportunities to find a job in an international company after graduating from university. Then 15% of students noticed that the learning English can make them to get the skills necessary for getting information about technologies. They're interested in English language written sources. And moreover, 8% of students, they have underlined that while learning English, they get some confidence when collaborating with foreign partners. And 22% of students, they have underlined that when learning English, they will get vocabulary for understanding certain computer programs and inventions. And of course, the very survey proved the idea that motivation is some kind of trigger for students to learn more and to get or to be more focused on learning process. And the idea is that English is quite important for students of engineering faculties is proved even by our leaders. Well, some years before, the former president of our republic, Nursultan Nazarbayev, he has stated the following. English is the language of new technologies, new industries, and a new economy. Currently, 90% of information is created in English. Every 2 years, its volume doubles. And I can say that the very statement is still actual nowadays. Now, I suppose I suppose that I'll come to the next issue because, as I have mentioned previously, I've been working at Dulatov University for 4 years, and frankly speaking, engineering is something a very new area for me as well. And of course, in order to deal in a better way with the very issue of learning engineering students English, of course, I asked my colleagues for assistance. And nowadays we work in a kind of collaboration. And if, for example, there are some ideas that I do not understand, especially about the very educational platform we have at our university, and a little bit later I'll say about it in a more detailed way. And the very question, what can be done for supporting students' motivation, was another issue in my research. And the answer was that we should cooperate, we should collaborate with professionals. For example, like the very professionals you see in the images, these are our university IT programmers who deal with very complicated issues, integrating some new technologies into the educational process of our university. Now, generally, when looking for an answer, what can teachers do to motivate students? Well, I have come to the very answer that, of course, we should make use of various digital technologies. And for that, digital literacy is a must-have for every English teacher. So generally, digital literacy is understood as the ability effectively and critically navigate, evaluate, and create information using a range of different digital devices. So now, in order to just to go on with the very process, we have just tried to find answer to the next question. How can digital technology help highlight students' motivation? And for that, we have just make a kind of observation, we kind of analysis of all those lessons where different devices were used. And we have come to some kind of conclusion that generally when we use digital technology, the following aspect as creation a new atmosphere in a classroom, some kind of personalizing of lessons will is created. Of course, the use of digital technology, it activates the students' persistence and students being able to learn more about this or that topic. Then, of course, some students, they feel confident, and so digital technology use can be a kind of trigger for learners being confident that they are on the proper way. Then, of course, digital technology use provide and encourages learners' autonomy, which have already been mentioned by previous speakers, and which is to my mind, the most important thing, when digital technology is used during lessons, our students can implement effectively digital skills they have already gained into the language learning process and which they have already known from their disciplines they learn at their main lessons. Now, let's have a look at the next issue and let's try to see that digital technology is really useful for increasing students' motivation. And of course, as the previous speaker, Mr. Farhad, has mentioned, nowadays there are very many different ways and different means of digital technology used, and even the idea of digital technology-based training is quite actual nowadays. And for that, for example, we at our university use Dulatov University Educational Platform. And this platform is based on Adobe Connect. And that is the issue where my colleagues from IT department usually help and just at peace with all those questions of mine and are ready to explain everything. Then, of course, I in my practice use Google Classroom, and I find that Google Classroom is somewhat very amazing and a really awesome thing, because in a Google Classroom, I can, for example, download some kind of video from YouTube, which is coincides with the topic we are learning. Or, for example, it's the easiest way of integrating some tests, and even the use of Google Classroom during lessons, it usually makes the very atmosphere very interesting, and students are really interested and motivated to learn more and more info in English, even if it is about some kind of very complicated topics and very complicated terminology use. Then, of course, the very idea of m-learning or mobile learning, or also, as my students call it, smartphone learning. For example, we have created a kind of chat group in WhatsApp Messenger. And in a WhatsApp Messenger, students, for example, can ask some questions. And it's very nice that sometimes they try to speak English while asking their questions. Well, I myself, for example, can send some video which is related to the topic we are learning, and it's really, really useful and nice. Of course, we at university use the blended learning. Blended learning is especially nice for our students who are trained on dual program. And those students, for example, the students of robotics, and a little bit later, I'll show you some examples of lessons where some tasks about definite topics related to robotics are just implemented into the educational process of our university. And here for our robotics students, the very blended learning is just the thing, because they are taught according to dual program. Actually, the out of 15 weeks of learning, they are having their practical classes at university during 3 weeks, and all the rest 12 weeks they are at our manufacturing enterprises of Allure. that is a kind of combo of practical skills and their internship. And of course, all our lessons during these 12 weeks, they are done on remote using the very educational platform on Adobe Connect. We have just online lessons. Well, and of course, that is very effective and nice method. Then, as Mr. Farhad has already mentioned, synchronous and asynchronous learning types are also nice for using at our university, and I shall not stop on this kinds of learning in a detailed way because everything has been already said. Well, and also when Mr. Farhad has mentioned that about gamification, he has noted that nowadays gamification is mostly suitable for young learners. And here I'd like to say that not only young learners, but also adult students like mine, they are also interested in some in the use of some games. For example, during our lessons, we use such ideas as Quizlet, Kahoot, Socratic Hub, Duolingo, Hoopla, and some of them also they use independently in their out of classes time. And of course, much should be said about the use of artificial intelligence. And ChatGPT, or for example, Gemini, Google Gemini, they found somewhat like powerful, intelligent, and innovative tools that nowadays will maybe not fully used, but we are just trying to integrate the very tools into the educational process. And as much have been already said about different podcasts, of course, the use of different podcasts during lessons is also very effective and very crucial for our educational process because, for example, for our students of robotics, such podcasts as, for example, Pro Robots is quite useful. Moreover, such podcasts as 6-Minute BBC Learning English, TED conferences, English with Lucy, well, they are set as some as the very tools which can be said the most favorite by my students. Now let's have a look and let's see about some methodology and some methods we usually use during our lessons. Well, as I've mentioned before, when even working at Police Academy, I find that one of the most tools for being students fully motivated and fully focused on their learning, that is CLIL technology. CLIL, content and language integrated learning. Of course, it has some specific forms at our Dulatov University because for example, in Kazakhstan, we have CLIL integration in our Nazarbayev intellectual schools or Nazarbayev University, where some definite disciplines are taught in English. But of course, at our university, we cannot just do the same thing because English is only taught is in its applied form. And here we use some techniques of CLIL, and mostly we focus on the content of our lessons. Well, here I'd like you to show some examples how CLIL is integrated in some lessons, for example, lessons for students of robotics. And here the very examples show a kind of CLIL integration on lessons where the students are just introduced to the etymology of words robots and robotics. And here we see a kind of, and just for you to remember that integration, that is a kind of, combo of all those things which can be sent separately, but when they are united and when they are combined with some goal achieving, that means is a very clear use as we understand it. For example, here CLIL is implemented that, for example, the robotics is connected to, for example, literature, to science fiction, and even just adding some info, for example, about Isaac Asimov, or for example about Karel Čapek, where the very terms of robot and robotics were first introduced, they cause vivid interest of students. And moreover, the idea that the very 3 laws of robotics that nowadays used as a kind of basis for practical robotics engineers were first formulated by writer, by a science fiction writer, also is very interesting and motivates students to learn English in a more detailed way. Here's the very image shows a kind of historic aspect of robots. And when we're just having a topic about history of robots, we have a look at the different stages of robots development, and even have a look at some countries, like, for example, Japan. Well, in Japan, in the history of Japan, there were the so-called karakuri, or which can be considered as a kind of, well, for example, 21st century used as a very service robots, because generally the functionality of karakuri that were a kind of robots that were used to treat, for example, guests with tea. It is similar to the service robots that usually can be seen, for example, nowadays in different cafes, restaurants, or in other ways. They are also called as robots of hospitality. Yeah? And of course, some ideas about prominent scientists who have made a great contribution to the development of this or that robots development. For example, the very Hisanaga Tanaka, that is considered as the author of these karakuri robots, the inventor of these karakuri robots. Also, the info about him causes interest of students and motivates them to know more about, for example, not only robots, but even causes their interest to some study of cultural aspects concerning the history, concerning some just nice and bright ideas about Japan as a country. Now, for example, this kind of tasks or this kind of issues, where, for example, some info about the newly created robots like Pepper robots, which were created by Soft Robotics company. SoftBank robotics company, also is a kind of, well, motivation trigger for our students. And here, for example, after reading the very text or after listening to the text about those robots, students can be given some kind of test tasks. And here, the very make the right choice exercise is not only for checking how they understood the content of the video or the content of, for example, the text, but it's also about just focusing students' attention on the content of this kind of robots, and maybe just developing their creative and critical thinking and critical reasoning skills. And of course, usually the very answer the following questions exercise, at first sight, it can seem very, very simple one. But generally, when the very questions are done in the way that makes them think and makes them not just in a kind of open question, but in a kind of closed question, but in a kind of open one, when they think, when they should integrate their previous knowledge into the formulating their proper answer is quite good. And what is also done during our lessons, that is a kind of tasks when a student's given writing some essays. And at first sight, it can seem that essay writing for engineering students is a kind of an appropriate task, because as one of my colleagues said, students should just do some connecting some, for example, parts of robots or just making some programming using software. But reality shows that students like writing essays, and even more, their essays sometimes are very, very interesting. And the fact that we have sent some essays of our students to international competition of essays, which was held in Russia. Well, that is also a kind of proof that writing essay task is quite nice for motivating students to learn English for specific purpose. And of course, during lessons, we use very many different images, very many different maybe photos, and most of them sometimes are found by students themselves. And even, for example, for the first year students, just learning the topic household chores can be very interesting if, for example, in the content of the lesson will include, for example, some images illustrating robotic systems, like, for example, robotic mops or some robotic dishwashers, the very, for example, robots which are used for cleaning swimming pools, or even those which are necessary, for example, for taking care of pets. And of course, as we have already mentioned, the historic aspect is usually very interesting. But here is another thing. When, for example, students learn some new facts about some famous scientists, like for example, Leonardo da Vinci, and they know that Leonardo da Vinci was a great scientist, but the very images of mechanical robots, they also prove that Leonardo da Vinci was not only a great scientist, but also a great engineer. And of course, the very robot mechanical knight, that is nowadays is kept in one of the museums, was not created in the time when Leonardo da Vinci lived. But nevertheless, it was created on the basis of the drawings which were found among the works and among the papers of that great inventor and scientist. Well, and looking at some historic aspects of, for example, robots' development in the United States of America, and speaking about, for example, Joseph Bonnet's first robots of Electro and Spackle, students can see a kind of relation to some more vivid robots, like, for example, humanoid Sophia. And they can see that even some maybe from the point of view of the 21st century, some primitive and simple way constructed robots can be a kind of, a basis for creating some nice things. And even more, it can be a kind of basis for our students' imagination just development. That if, for example, and I always just say students the very words which was once said by one of the professors of the MIT. He once said that if a student can make a kind of robot that can, for example, handle one thing, can move it to another place, then the very student will be also able to create some robot which will do the same thing, for example, on a faraway planet like Mars. And of course, it's very good. Well, And of course, when we discuss some video which are available on YouTube, like the video about Sophia, the content of this video also is very interesting, because even the very idea that Sophia robot was granted citizenship will causes interest, and not only of our students, but our colleagues as well. So definitely concluding the topic I have presented, I'd like to say that generally teaching English is aimed at developing students' intercultural communication skills. And we think that in modern Kazakhstan, some specialists who are ready to solve professional problems in the conditions of global cooperation and collaboration, they are quite necessary. And enhancing English learning motivation among engineering students through digital technology will contribute to reaching the very goals of teaching at higher educational facilities. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
Thank you, Gulziya. Yes, thank you for your interesting presentation and inspiring, also really a real presentation, because that's, you mentioned CLIL, which is relevant, I think, for all teachers that teaches languages, because with CLIL we make teaching and learning more, down to the earth and more relevant for students. And you also mentioned, essays as an excellent example. We might thought in 21st century that, okay, we will all use just quizzes and, the digital tools, but actually essays are a very good way to stimulate and grow our brains. So thank you for pointing this out. We have to rush because we have one more presentation. So I will call now Marija, and I hope that the microphone works. Yes, perfect. Perfect. Yes.
Finally.
Yes. Thank you for your persistence. And we will hear now the topic of Marija Todoroska is mastering the teaching process with an app Curipod. So just upload your slides and please, thank you for that. While we are waiting for the slides of Marija, I would just like to remind our participants once again that April session of Pan-European Conference is devoted to teaching sustainability in kindergartens. This time we prepared a call for presenters, and you can contribute to the conference either as an oral presenters like our presenters today, either you present your teaching case in a form of a poster and upload that to Padlet. Please go to the website erasmuspluscourses.com and see the call there. So are we ready, Marija? The slides?
You see the slides?
Yes, no, I don't see them at the moment. So if you want, I can upload them.
Let me try again.
Just try once again. If that won't work, I will upload them. Absolutely no problem. I can move them, of course. And since Marija's presentation is the last one, we will also put now in the chat the link for the conference evaluation, which is also very important, so that we know about different topics you are interested in and how did you like the current session.
Blanca, if you have my presentation, I would like
to.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I have it here. Yes, it happens with the technology all the time. We need to have plan A and plan B. So
we are digital education, so we are adapted to many situations. First of all, I would like to say something about me. I am PhD in philosophy. I teach ethics, and I will discuss today about a relatively new digital tool called Curipod. Previous presentations are mostly theoretical, and I want to try something practical for our teachers. I mean, these kind of conferences are the best, not only for theoretical elaboration. I am PhD, I can do some things, but I think the crucial thing to make some changes in our countries like mine, to country in development, to make some practical changes in our teaching process. I trying to make and to find some new teaching to postpone, or not to postpone, to foster mastering our teaching process. So I find this kind of tool, which is maybe some of you that using the digital tool might find similarity between Curipod and Nearpod or Pear Deck, but I think Curipod is a very, game-changing tool for the teaching, because I will give you some overview, because before I started the presentation, the Curipod is designed to helping educators in planning lesson. But the changing is that Curipod is inserted with a specific AI feature that make more creative options for the teachers, and not only for the teachers as individuals, but also for institutions, instructional technologies, practitioners, trainers, etc. What is the difference between Curipod and other digital tools? We have a very easy, effortless sign-up process. You can sign up with your Google account or any other account you have, and when you are inside the Curipod, you can find the interface that is very, very intuitive, and you can find many buttons, functionalities, discovery, enter button, creative, creation of lesson, etc. Where to start in Curipod? You can, Curipod is designed for helping teachers for the lesson, but also for the engaging students. This kind of slides particularly shows what kind of engagement toolkit is for the students. First of all, there is a polls. What is polls? Polls are central for this toolkit, offering teachers to collect immediate students' feedback and foster active participation. Why polls are crucial for our teaching process? Because polls are diagnostic tool, and also not only for a diagnostic tool, but it promotes reflective thinking in our students. Closely linked to the polls are word cloud. Word cloud assembles, visually aggregates students' responses, revealing collective pulse of the class. Why the word cloud is crucial? Because the word cloud assembles the concept or shows acquiring of key concept by the students. There are similarities or dissimilarities in acquiring of knowledge, and if there needs, teacher can give more clarification on some crucial concepts. Another tool is open-ended questions that promotes deeper thinking that is crucial for developing articulate communication. Why deeper thinking is crucial? Because the deeper thinking is the only only kind of knowledge that is permanent knowledge. Why deeper thinking? Because links the previous knowledge, personal experiences of the students, and the new knowledge. Next slide. There are many interactive elements into the Curipod. You can incorporate quizzes, polls, and other interactive features to engage your audience. First is quizzes. We might have some obstacles about permanently using quizzes, but quizzes are good for keeping attentions. Quizzes are a powerful tool to maintain audience engagement. They encourage participation and help access understanding in real time. Use them sporadically to keep flow dynamic. So another interactive element are interactive slides, which are visually appeal in Curipod. Slides with interactive elements like clickable areas or drag and drop can greatly enhance visual learning. They offer a break from traditional presentation and can simplify complex concepts. Another interactive elements are integrated live question and answers. A live question and answer session promotes real-time engagement and clarifies doubts. It makes the audience an active participant in the learning process. Ensure that to allocate time for this segment. Next slide, please. I already said that Curipod is with a sophisticated AI. What is this kind of little helper for the teacher? Curipod harnesses the power of the AI to refine educational experience with its I Do Magic feature. This innovative tool prompts educators to input lesson topics and objectives, enabling the AI to conjure comprehensive, customizable lesson plan. The AI goes beyond basic automaton. It thoughtfully suggests activities, the projects, capitalizing on responsive analytics to foster a creatively stimulating environment. As a result, educators can offer an individualized approach, catering the diverse learning styles within their classroom. This kind of AI, I will say a little bit about AI. This kind of AI is sophisticated because in a minute can create 10 slides lesson incorporated with the interactive elements. That is not blunt text with the quizzes or the essay or some other project tasks. It is a sophisticated AI which we as a teacher only need to review and to make some correction if there are biases or discrepancies, etc. The Curipod is also good for class management because every digital tool needs to be the Curipod is a comment table for the teacher, and it is sometimes very, very difficult to make some order in our task, but the Curipod is very good in the classroom management with these features. We in Curipod have moderated question and answer session. Teacher can moderate what to show on the screen, on the projector or the smart table, and what not to project, what not to see, because the answers can be different, and teacher is the only judge that can decide what to show, what not to show. Anonymity option for student participation. You have anonymity option and a real names option. They can sign up with their real names if you want to assess something, or you only use Curipod as a diagnostic tool. They can sign up anonymously. They can sign up, or they can access with a QR code or share links by the teacher. Time control slide advancement. Teacher can point a time frame for the same for each slide, but it can be differ from the responses of the students. Access permission is also for the lesson interaction. Lesson log feature, because slides are not only slides that with the movable object, but if we want they focus on the content of the slide, you can log every elements in the slide. Progress tracking for individual students. You have on your dashboard report from the responses of the students, so you have afterwards, after class, review the progress of acquiring knowledge by each student, and real-time response analysis for quizzes and polls, which is available on during presentation. Next slide, please. You have also Curipod is very emphasizing the collaboration between the teachers and between the students. We have interactive features. With interactive features, you have many multimedia that are inserted in Curipod, like Unsplash, free picture. You don't have to go to Unsplash, leaving the Curipod and downloading free pictures for your slides into Unsplash, and then back on Curipod. In Curipod, you have Unsplash, Canva, videos, etc. This kind of elements enriches our lessons. Ready-to-use discussion questions ignites inquisitive and communicative classroom atmosphere. Seamless lessons sharing between co-workers or collaboration community in the Curipod is very valuable, because the Curipod is based on the collective wisdom, and we can use every lesson made in Curipod in our classroom without fee, without financial commitment. And student-to-student collaboration promotes collaboration between students, that they can work on team projects, dialogues, but also foster social skills in students. Next slide. We have this slide summarize all the benefits of the using Curipod in education. First of all and foremost, transform static slides into interactive scenarios in the real-time polls. I mean, you can insert into the Curipod your previous made presentation or PDFs, documents, or files, and from the static slides, you can have interactive presentation with active engagement of the students. Creation word cloud, implementing open-ended question to cultivate critical thinking, using Discover. Discover is a treasure trove of pre-assembled lesson. If you don't know where to start in Curipod, click on Discover button and you can find pre-assembled, prepared, previously prepared, and you can translate it with the help of the AI. So Discover is a treasure trove. Applying real-time data from student responses, utilizing feedback tools, in a moment reflecting learning approaches, incorporate students to contribute to slide content. I usually ask students to contribute to my slides. Contemporary pedagogical ideas are not only the teacher to prepare instructional materials, but to also invite students in creation of those instructional materials. Or in my case, I ask them to make some questions, and they not me make the questions for the quizzes, but their own questions, and then the entire class answering the question. Employing exit tickets and knowledge checks to gauging and extending learning. Next slides, next few slides are mine dashboard with some of the deeds of the students. This is the first slide when you are signed up with Curipod, and you have a lesson and reports. Next slide. These two slides show how can contribute into the Curipod. They can draw, they can write text, they can answer, etc. So it is very versatile digital platform. Next slide. In this slide, you can see my lesson for environmental ethics made by the AI. I don't make those quizzes. The AI make for me. Even it is translated on my language, my native language, Macedonian, but I also can use some previous from the collective lesson like pollution, growth, etc., made by other teachers. So I can use them for free, and it is not countable in my free plan. Next slide. If you are good and you using Curipod many times, you can become AI certified teacher for Curipod. And if you share your knowledge of Curipod to your colleagues on the professional learning system in your school, or share your knowledge within colleagues in your school, you can become an ambassador for Curipod. That was everything from me. If you have any question, please ask. Thank you for your attention. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much for your really inspiring and practical presentation. But can you tell me, so Curipod have a free plan and also a professional plan, right?
Curipod have a free plan and the premium plan.
Premium, yeah.
The free plan is a robust. You have many options in your free plan. You have unlimited participant for your in your Curipod dashboard, unlimited. You have 20 translations per month. You have many options. I mean, the core of the features you have on a free plan. On a premium plan, there's some exquisite features, but premium plan are maybe more for institution or school, or to be integrated in your school learning system that you have.
So if I understand you correctly, actually, as an individual teacher, it's enough to have a free plan and you can be very flexible.
Not to have premium, you have many options in the free plan. It is versatile. Only you have something to check. If you don't know where to start, you have to see previous made lessons.
That's very good to hear. Yeah,
I think it's very useful.
Yeah, thank you very much. This was the last presentation of the Today Pan-European Conference on Digital Education. Thank you for following us. It's time to say goodbye. Now we see each other again on the 25th of April on the conference devoted to teaching sustainability in kindergartens. So happy Easter to all of you who celebrate in the next few days and in the upcoming spring days. So thank you for following us today. Bye.